What's going on, all you gamers? Here we are, and today Cyberpunk 2077 has an absolutely ridiculously big update, around 17 gigabytes, and this is hitting for the Xbox and PlayStation. I believe it's pretty much all of the variants, so PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox, Xbox One and Xbox Series X. As far as I'm aware, I think the PC should be following suit shortly, but they've kind of tried to fix quite a lot of bugs, and they've done it really timely fashion, to be honest, as I thought this was going to be coming after the holidays. So, if you want to know what they've actually fixed in game, and hopefully it will make things work smoother for you, then stay tuned, that's coming up next. Welcome back, all you gamers. As always, for all things Xbox and for all things gaming, especially at the moment Cyberpunk, then why not hit that subscribe and bell icon. But for the moment, let's get on with the patch notes and see what they've actually implemented. So for the quests, Jackie will no longer disappear in the pickup or the heist. Fixed an issue preventing players from landing the helicopter in Love Like Fire. Fixed an issue with Takemura not calling in Play It Safe. It's no longer possible to trigger the same dialogue twice in Big in Japan. Fixed an issue with Delamain appearing upside down at the end of Don't Lose Your Mind. That sounds interesting. Sal now correctly reaches the van in Riders of the Storm. Fast travelling before the encounter with Tiger Claws no longer breaks progression in I Fought the Law. Fixed an issue blocking progress in Ghost Town if an autosave made upon Rafan Shiv's arrival was loaded. Fixed an issue with not receiving new calls or messages if Happy Together failed as a result of combat. Elizabeth Perales stops being excessively insistent with her calls after her job offer is refused. The scene with Misty and Jackie now starts properly after leaving Victor's clinic. So from that you can see most of the bug fixes are kind of revolved around the quest lines as such, very similar to their first update, so it looks like they're trying to kind of correct everything in that respect first. Right, so next up we have Wakako's dialogue no longer gets blocked after finishing Search and Destroy. Walking away from Stefan in Sweet Dreams shouldn't prevent other characters from calling you anymore. Brick's detonator should now be properly interactable for players to disarm or set off. Your call. I didn't know you could do that before. Alright, that's cool. Elevator doors should now correctly open in the heist. Had that issue. Sal now correctly gets out of cars in Riders of the Storm. Fixed an issue with not receiving new calls or messages after running too far away from Frank in War Pigs. Jackie now correctly leaves the factory after the combat is finished in the pickup. Fixed an issue with Militech reinforcements not spawning if driving through the gate too fast in Forward to Death. Skipping time while in the club in violence no longer results in issues with progression. Fixed issues with starting gig getting warmer. Fixed an issue with not receiving new calls or messages after Pyramid Song has been abandoned midway. Fixed an issue whereby Delamain core would be already broken when players enter the core room in Don't Lose Your Mind. Fixed issues with Delamain not appearing or doing nothing outside the afterlife in the heist. Fixed an issue with objectives getting stuck on Talk to Victor in the Ripper dock. Fixed an issue where it was impossible to talk to the banter in front of Lizzie's in the information. Added description for Don't Lose Your Mind in the journal. Fixed an issue with Panam not calling about other matter until I'll Fly Away is completed. Fixed an issue with Dum Dum following V after the pickup is finished. Gameplay. Improved the reaction times of NPCs taking cover. Corrected the number of shots needed to kill civilians from a distance while in combat. I think that's because you were killing them a little bit too quick with like 1 or 2 bullets. Visual. Fixed an issue with Delamain's image displayed on top of the current caller during phone calls. V's mouth doesn't stay open after entering the space lock in Where Is My Mind. Fix some UI overlap issues. V appears more modest in the inventory preview after the half-year montage. NPCs are faster to appear in the quest area during Stadium Love. added some warmth to HDR. I'm not really sure what that means, to be perfectly honest, unless it means they've kind of upgraded the capture feature. Fixed T-pose in NPCs in suspected organised crime activity, just say no and gig hot merchandise. Fixed an issue whereby after a brain dance it was possible to be stuck in third person view with no head. Now that sounds interesting. Silencer icons are no longer displayed with no image in the inventory. User interface. Fixed an issue with weapons crosshair persistent on screen. The inventory menu no longer closes immediately after opening it for the first time after leaving a car. Fixed an issue whereby upon accessing a fast travel terminal, the button shown on the top right corner prompting to open the quest journal would not work. Right, performance and stability. Multiple stability improvements including crash fixes. This is the big one, and this will be the one that kind of players will notice the most, I'm thinking, especially on the earlier consoles. Fingers crossed this does something along the lines of what it says. They haven't gone too far into that, so I don't think it's a be all and end all, but it looks like they have made a little bit of headway, so fingers crossed. Let me know in the comments if you've noticed anything different, but fingers crossed they have done a few things to kind of remedy the earlier models of consoles. So Xbox, PlayStation 4, they're struggling to play this at the moment. Let me know how you guys are getting on. Miscellaneous. Off-screen explosions make noise now. Console specific. Improved image sharpness with chromatic aberration and film grain on. Settings should no longer reset to default after several game sessions restart. Fixed visual issues occurring during the transition between the heist and Love Like Fire. Corrected the look of several vehicles. Telemetry consent request will appear once more due to an earlier issue with setting reset. That was a bit of a mouthful. And finally, fixed an issue whereby it was possible to fall down the elevator shaft in Mega Building H8 in automatic love. Right, I didn't know about that one. That could have been quite interesting. Yeah, so all in all, it looks like they're doing a lot of work with this game. I'm very surprised they've brought this out this early, but I can definitely see why they have. So fingers crossed they've made a bit of headway, and fingers crossed, especially with that one with stability and crashing, that they have done a good job so far. As always, guys and girls, I hope you've enjoyed that. Obviously, it's not going to be the most entertaining one, as it's kind of just a patch notes update, but it may help you and it may let you know kind of if some of the issues you've had have been remedied. As always, if you'd like to join the Sofa Squad, then hit that subscribe and bell icon, and I'll see you all next day. Take care.